No man, hey. Um, I've been wondering for the past few days regarding, and forgive me if I butcher your name here. Uh, a person named Chico Maya joined the True Finns Party or the Finns Party, depending on which uh, name, in English name you want to use. And this is also the party that I belong to. And why this is perhaps more interesting than a party gaining a single new member is that Chico's background is in Africa. I'm not sure exactly from where he's from, but he's from some African nation. And traditionally, the True Finns party or the Finns party, I prefer the latter, it is not known for, uh, shall we say, ethnically diverse cast of members. And of course, this uh, is not something that this change is not something that everyone is overly fond of. And even myself, if we look back 3 or 4 years, uh, uh, I was balancing, shall we say, between a nationalist point of view and an ethno-nationalist point of view, which some prefer as white nationalism in Western countries. And there are, I can understand both points of view, but for me, the more I thought about this, the more my personal circumstances changed. The conclusion I came to is that when we think about the challenges of immigration that Finland and other Western nations face, uh, they vary in number, they vary in type, but there is almost always 9 times out of 10. Then there's a common denominator, which is Islam and Muslims. When you look at the crime statistics, unemployment statistics, surveys regarding the respect of your home nation, so to speak, the nation you currently live in, the most varying results are those of Muslims and people from Islamic backgrounds, and when you regard the issue of immigration and especially mass immigration from this point of view, you might come to the conclusion, as I have done, that if we want to resolve the issue of immigration, the things we need are mass support from the population. Mass support is something that I would classify as 22 to 30% of support in a multi-party system as we have in Finland. And if I recall correctly, the last time we had a party reaching over 30% was the Social Democrats in the 1990s, and I believe this was the late 1990s, or it might have actually been the early 2000s. In any case, it's been a long time. Nowadays, it's usually 20-something% that wins you elections, parliamentary elections in Finland. Okay, so there's this mass support or mass appeal part, and that is something you have to have if you want to achieve major, and I do mean major political change. If we talk about remigration or ban on Muslims in immigration, which Trump, for example, attempted to achieve in his first term in the United States, which caused quite an uproar, but which I think he managed to hold on to for a few months until some either political or or political or some sort of law-based challenge. There's a better word for it, but I can't at this point in time pronounce it. So yeah, that's just to say that such a policy is possible if you have popular support. Then the other side of that coin, besides popular support, which is, I would argue, the most important goal for any party to achieve. Then there's the fact that we are diminishing in numbers. The Finnish people, we are diminishing. The birth rates are plummeting. The elderly are every year they are more and more of the population percentage wise. So our growth is immigration based, and so when it is immigration based, and when we don't want to actually have a decreasing population, there are competing points of view also with this. But let's say that for economic reasons we want to increase the population, and the population growth from immigration comes mostly from non-white countries. Okay, so these 2 points of view from a political sense speak against ethno-nationalism, which I know there are supporters of that ideology as well, but the number is minimal. But I do agree that there are, like, ethnicity is a part of Finnishness, of any nationality. There's the ethnic part as well. Then that's, I think, question of degree, how much you want to underline the ethnic part. But I'm not like moralizing that it's totally wrong or reprehensive to think that way. But we have the population statistics to back the argument that without immigration we would the number of people, not Finnish people, but people living in Finland, would decrease, and there are negative sides to that. So we have popular support, and we have population statistics that speak to this, I might say, broadening of the idea of the Finnish society. So we have those two things, and then we have the negative aspects of Islam and Muslims who adhere to Islam, which should be all Muslims, as I understand it. So back to Chico and his joining of the Finnish party. He is what I would call the new type of Finnish party member, the type from which the ethnicity, the white ethnicity, is non-relevant to. But from what I gather, he has the aspects of what I would call like a beneficial immigrant, meaning beneficial immigrant for Finland, which is respect for Finnish society and Finnish law, and gratitude for being in Finland. And these two things, I think, are the most important things for any immigrant coming to Finland, or any other nation for that matter. So these are my thoughts on the trajectory of the Finnish party going forward. I'm guessing, and this is a guess, or guesstimation, that people like Chico will want to join the Finnish party in the future if the vast majority of the membership is okay with it, is welcoming to these people, which I think, for the reasons discussed earlier, we should be in the future. As a result, we will lose votes from the ethno-nationalist wing of the voting public, which does exist, but we will also gain from the non-nationalist voting population, which is much higher, thus gaining the popular support that we need to implement mass remigration and a possible Muslim ban, which I think is a must in the not so distant future. But what do you think? Do you agree? Do you disagree? Is there any merit for this kind of thinking? And Chico, I would very much, if you have the time, like your inputs on this video as well. Take care. Bye.